this golden light that he has up here. And the wood floors was something else that intrigued me, because I have these wood floors that are ancient, and I'm going to redo that. They're ancient, and I don't have a lot of experience in painting wood floors and getting that reflection in there, and I love the way that he did it on this one. Maybe I should put tape across there so I get that nice clean edge I like. I think I will. Just to help keep it nice and neat. This paper was reused too. I used it for another painting, and I didn't like how it came out, so I just painted over it with gesso. I'm really wanting to grow this channel, and I'm fighting against some old videos that I did when I first started a year ago. YouTube takes the watch hours from the last 365 days, and 365 days ago, I had 'spit out words. I had Temu hauls, which I regret doing in many ways, but they got a lot of views. But the problem is those are falling off now, of the 365. And so I need to, the watch hours that I need to get are, I need to make up for what I'm losing when those drop off. And also I'm not going to put a lot of the detail in here. I'm going to just kind of block it in, because again, it's the shadows that I'm after. Oh, there's a door there. I didn't even notice that. Is that a window? It's a window. I've noticed I get a lot more viewers toward the end, and personally I'm always more interested in what happens before. How do they start? How do they figure out how to do things? So I find that interesting. Anyway, I need to get a lot more watch hours is what I'm getting at on art videos. I know you really wanted to know that. I'm using 1980 Gamblin. And oils. Okay, I kind of had it figured out now. Got my coffee. I need more white. Not necessarily because there's white on the, but anyway, I needed to lighten up my blue. My blue and my greenish. I'm going to take some of that right over yonder. Take some blue. Ooh, added way too much blue. There we go. I want just a faint blue, just more for a cool shadow than anything else. And then with that blue, I need to add a little bit of yellow. The tint strength of yellow isn't very much, so it shouldn't take a whole lot. These other, if you can see these colors, these are left over from doing that Sargent. That's a good color. It's the wrong value, but it's a good color. So this up here has kind of a neutral-ish shade. I'm going to mix my ultramarine and burnt umber just to get some like a grayish, yeah, mixed with some white. And then I'll add my blue tones where needed. After I get things laid in, so. I'm adding walnut oil. This right up here is all, see, that's way too dark, but I can add some white to it. And this is, like I said, this is just a quick, gonna be a study for myself. The artist that did this is known for being able to show light, sunlight in his work. Primarily in watercolors, though. Let's see. I'm just chatting because nobody else is chatting at the moment. I've always been fascinated with like an artist's side table, just all the items that randomly sit there. It's very utilitarian and not made for aesthetics. Sides don't want me to stick down. Oh, I have the tape here. Poncho's with us. He's sitting over, where'd he go? He's under the table. Poncho is the studio guard dog. He does a good job. And I find it interesting that there must be another little table here, or is that yeah, because this is at a different level than this over here. I guess I can just relate to that. various pieces of furniture as needed. Nothing exciting is going on in my life. I'm just painting. That's my main focus these days, and that's probably going to be the way it's going to be for quite a while. Fortunately, as long as I can. That made it sound like I was old. I'm not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. One thing on the Sargent that I did, I love that his paint is on so thickly. It's just thickly, is that a term? But I love the being able to move things around and just the squishiness of it, if that makes sense. What I'm doing right now is just blocking stuff in. There's a half French easel right there. A box of something right there. Something else underneath the table. I know I made that mark there wider than it's supposed to be, but it's more of a note of that's where the line is. I may have got the ceiling too high. Yeah, maybe I'll go ahead and block this in. This over here. Oops. That comes over there. Comes down. I went for quite a while without doing any painting, and I had friends telling me, "Man, you need to be painting. You need to," and I'm talking. I went years at one point, and I was like, "Nah, I'm fine. I'm fine." And now I feel like I'm making up for lost time. I know if they heard me say that, they'd be saying, "See, told you so. Told you." That needs to come down. That needs to go over. I'm only blocking in things right now, shapes, basic shapes. I keep saying that because I'm looking at the numbers of people going in and out, and I know some people just pop in just out of curiosity and then move on. I can see them, or I can hear them. That's pretty damn close for no longer than we've been going. Time is it 10:30? Just trust the process, and it will happen. I got the ceiling a little high. I can fix that. I know what's out the window is probably distracting that I haven't put it down yet. Ooh. Didn't get quite that dark. That's okay. We will make it work. I'm not doing the outside because I want to attack it. I wonder if there's a window on that other side then too. Interesting. This painting is much larger than what I'm doing here too, the original. Mine is just and I can tell that because of the brush strokes and I don't think I ever actually saw the measurements of the piece. I had to look up the artist. I did the, you know, on your Apple phone where you've got an image. What it is I've got this dog that during the summers or warm months, he will sit at the front door, and he loves to just sit there, like a lot of dogs, I suppose. And he'll sit there for hours. And that's kind of his joy. He loves that. So what I wanted to do an interior showing him sitting there at the door, but from a distance. And I've had the reference images for since last time it was warm, so that was last year. Last spring, last fall. So I want this same feeling to it, that glow, that wonderful glow that it has. Like I said, I probably need to look at some Matisse. And get it. This is much more blue. This is great to do if you see a painting by somebody else and you just want to kind of figure out how did they do that. Or just to gain some confidence in presenting that yourself. Whoops. Just hit my light or the camera or something. Just kind of looking to see how they accomplished it. I mean, mean, I can look at it and say, yeah, he used loose brush strokes. He did this, 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 and this. But for me, I'm still building up my confidence myself in being able to control the paint how I want it to go. Because like I said, it's been a long time since I've I started doing these master studies a couple of months ago. I'm not new to painting. It's something I've done my whole life, but not in oils all the time, and not in front of other people. But by doing these streams, it forces me to show up. Like this morning, I probably would still be sleeping. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. Yeah, see that? This needs more of a blue tint to it than that yellow. Just to cool it down. And some of the value changes are so subtle in here. You would think certain areas would be a lot darker, and they're not. The contrast is not necessarily high. I love the use of contrasting colors. I'm just babbling. You'll have to forgive me. I'm just I'm wanting to get these. I have like the basic shapes of things laid down, so now I'm going back through these windows and bringing it back up. And there's very little just white. It's more of a, it's either got a tint of cool blue to it or a yellowish. For me, this is just an exercise. It's not, it's a means to an end, not the final, not the final outcome. I want to push some paint around and just see how I can get the same feel if possible. And yeah, I know that chimney's gonna have to be that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'm still using my paints too thin, I feel. I don't know why I do that. So I went in and got some heavier brush strokes in there. This one probably will not be done as a replay. Just because it's, or you know, as a time lapse. This is more just for me to be able to stay here and have a little time with y'all. Whether y'all come in or not, I'm here. Oh, that's good. I'm trying to get this on here a little thicker over here with these recent brush strokes. I know that's not blue up there on the, when I add the brown over it, it'll work fine. I have this wonderful golden brown left over from doing Sargent. And it's working well from like this in here. It would work well for this down here too, but I don't want to get that far yet. I'm still working on this up here with the more blues. If you're interested in this original artist, he does a number of watercolor courses or books through his website. And there's a website that Sorry, I'm having trouble working and speaking at the same time. So he has teachers doing various classes that I found interesting. I haven't taken any of them. I know nothing. I vaguely remember hearing his name when I was in community college years and years ago. But back when they had Northlight books, it seems he had a lot of, I could be wrong, but I think it's the same person. I never have really been into watercolor. I'll do it if I'm out and about, and if I'm just playing. There's people that can do it much better and much more serious than I can. Of watercolor. It's just not my forte. Not that there's anything wrong with it. So don't come after me. It's just never been something I'm into. That little shadow right there. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the detail out of the window. I just want to show the color palette that's visible. And I know you cannot probably see this right here. There's a little bitty stoplight right there. So, which is kind of cool. I'm not going to get the detail, but it's just kind of cool. One of those things that make you say, oh, that's neat. So I know the big topic right now is TikTok. since this is my channel, I can discuss news things. And I'm wondering what everybody else thinks of the situation. Are you going to... let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm digging in my heels here at YouTube, and I do have Facebook, but it is only because I am involved with a local gallery, and I take care of some of their social media. So I have to be on there in order to do it. Obviously. And that's it. I have an Instagram. I have a I started to download, well, I did download Rednote, but then I heard some things from a reliable source about some of their thoughts or some of their content violation rules, and it went against my core value, and I couldn't do it. So I wound up deleting it before I even created an account. I know a lot of people are going over there. I have not heard anything about TikTok today. Today's the 16th? Yeah. So, you know, who knows? They may have already changed their minds and said, oh, well. I do think the hearing that they had on it was embarrassing because of the lack of knowledge. From the lack of information that the people that are supposed to be in control or deciding this are unaware. And I realize that they are an older generation, but you know what? So am I. I'm not as old. I think the average age, I heard the other day, was 64. But if it's your job to be informed about these things and make decisions for other people. I would think that you would gain some information before you made some decisions. But I realize that's in a perfect world and not always possible. But TikTok affects a lot of people. It brought a lot of money into our economy. It would not be here otherwise. And I think we're losing out by getting rid of it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I do enjoy TikTok just as for entertainment purposes. I have an account there, but I don't do much. But share files, share. Share funny videos and things. I have bought some things off of TikTok. Not a lot. I bought one of those back massager things. Works great, by the way. And at the time I bought it, it was like $11. And I know it was made in China. But I really think that that ship has sailed. And from what I understand, the people on Red Note that everybody's joining, the people have been very welcoming, very helpful. And should be given credit for. I think we could learn a thing or two. I won't be going to Red Note, but at least not right now, unless some things change. For one, I just don't need. I don't need another social media. The fact that I have to deal with Facebook for the gallery. Is enough between that and my YouTube. I did see that, and this is going to probably ruffle some feathers, but Blue Sky is coming out with a image, kind of like what Instagram used to be. Remember that, when you could put up images and of your artwork and whatnot. And it wasn't all videos. I think I'm getting carried away with the detail in the windows for what I need. If this were much larger. I don't know at this point how much it's giving me information I need. As long as I keep picking away at this inside window. I am seeing how the values, just the subtle use of some of this is it's a good exercise. It's very, the size of it, I should have either made it bigger and done it on canvas, avoided all these little details because it's become less about the detail or about the painting than the detail. There's just kind of a warm glow on the ceiling here. That's an easy addition. Let's see above the window's not dark enough. I need more. And I've already got a lot of white down, so it should Should help tone down the color I'm putting down. I don't like going over and over. I think it loses some of its oomph when you do that. I'm seeing this over here needs a much more blue tint, and this is too, it needs blue. Not that much blue. This is still not dark enough up here. Made this beautiful greenish. I'm wondering how it shows up. Oh, that shows up nice. I need to train myself to just put the paint down and then not brush over it again. I should be able to use some of this paint that I mixed up too. And in the one I have for myself, it's not a master study or a study from somebody else. And again, this is not an exact, is not my intention. I'm paying attention to how the light is represented. Some places it is just breathtaking. And this brush that I'm using is just an inexpensive little Walmart Royal Langnickel, I think. Yeah. They're not the best. But they do the job, and they're very inexpensive. And they take a beating. You take care of them. And I'm talking, this one's less than, this whole set was less than $10. And there's quite a number in this little set. I need to get out some Matisse today and look at it. In fact, I wonder if that isn't what that is right there. Oops, I need to go over. It looks like it could very well be a Matisse study. Again, the original artist of this was John Yardley. This is a detail image of one of his pieces. So the original has the entire room. And I just cropped it down to get this. This particular area. That needs a lot more in there, doesn't it? I think my painting barrel, yeah, it's getting loose. Is that too dark for the rest of it? Maybe. That was a test swatch. This needs to be over. Yeah. I think he did some. There's some nods in here to Matisse. Which is very cool. Come on. It's interesting how your eye changes as you work on things and you see stuff that you didn't see before. Certain values and got a little puppy hair on my palette. I'm not sure what these little buds are here in the window, but they add some nice contrast to the green. I'll leave that just real subtle. This is too light. I do see that what's in the window is much more what time is it? Oh, I've only got an hour left, so I need to get moving. Maybe I need to quit gabbing. Just saw a notification came up, so if somebody's trying to message me, I guess you wouldn't be seeing this. There's like a little miniature chair right here. I find that interesting. Look right here, there's a little chair. I'm not going to try and... I want to get these side areas in. This is not my typical stream, but This, yeah, this is just for me. Put it that way. That too low. That's good enough. I think I'm going to change to a really small brush. Something that's a little more stable too. And here I said I was going to be it's got like a clamp on here. I like how he uses complementary colors next to each other. Like this orange and this blue. But it's very, you have to really look for it. These are paintbrushes. I'm just using my ultramarine, or not my ultramarine, my burnt umber for right now. There's some really interesting shadows in here, but I'm gonna have to just keep on my merry way. Everything's very muted. The main focus is this light coming in the room. It's not the items on the table. It's how the light is hitting everything. That's why I say I need to do some Matisse. And I say it's not about the little things, and here I am worrying about this little doohickey right here. I think it's a clock. Or a radio, maybe. I'm not going to do, I'm going to work on the walls and the floor. I realize this is way too yellowish. You would think it would be like a wood color, you know, a brownish, but there's actually a blue tone to it. Keep looking at the monitor. I see that, you know, things are not exact, and sometimes that was Poncho. If you heard a goes over. See, I should be having, I wish I had hi baby. I wish I'd had a applied paint thicker to begin with. I suppose that's what this area is for, huh? I didn't get that wide enough. I think there's a radiator back there. I would love to have a much bigger studio space, but I've been so hit and miss on production that I can't justify, or I couldn't justify the expense and the time investment, but I think I could now because I feel committed. The world is such a hot trash dumpster fire that this is what I need to be doing. That makes sense. For my own sanity, if nothing else. And a lot of these shadows he's got, it looks dark, like a one color, but then when you look at it closer, there's blue and sometimes a little warm yellow. Which is nice. It's just nice. I think if I don't finish this morning, I'm gonna work on it this afternoon or this evening. I probably won't stream it. Mainly because I don't know how valuable it would be to anyone else. If you want me to stream it, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just be doing it on my own. Here I go again, saying I'm going to do the I would love to do something like this of my studio space right now. I just might. It's nothing My space is nothing fancy. It's just a spare bedroom. Nothing. Nothing too exciting. But it does the job. It's in my home. I have had studio spaces outside of my home before, and oddly enough, I did not use it like you'd think I would, but my kids were still at home, and I wanted to be inside with them. And hubby. So it didn't get utilized like it should. I'm just thinking aloud. Too much detail, Rachel. There's too much. I don't. It's not. It's. Yeah. If you're just joining, I'm doing this more for just myself. It's not really a quote-unquote master study. The artist that did this original is John Yardley, and you can find him online. He's an elderly gentleman now. He's primarily known for watercolor, but I really liked the way the light was coming in the windows here. And it sort of reminded me of studio spaces that we had at the university that we could not use. They used to use them. They were awesome. We went over and looked at them a time or two. I don't remember why it was they weren't utilized. They were for grad students, but we never got to use them. I don't think it was a safety issue. I really don't remember, but this space reminds me of that, of those. Even this is like a detail of a larger one, and this is just a corner of the room in the center of the painting. If that makes sense. And it just reminds me of those. I wish we'd gotten to use them. I would have loved it because we had to work in an open studio space, and I didn't like that. I didn't like, which you probably would find odd since I'm on YouTube, but I did not like working in front of everybody. I wanted privacy. I guess because this is my choice, YouTube is. I can turn it off at any time. I can't see the side of this shade, so I'm gonna fake it. Time is it? Yeah, I've only got about 30 minutes left to work on this, so hi Heather. This isn't a master study. It's more of just, I'm wanting to do an interior, a couple of interiors, and I really liked the way the light was used in this one. So this is just more of like my own little study to look at it and see what they did. It's not if you could see it in real life, it looks very paint looks way too thin, so I may go over this entire thing. Doggy hair. As in, go over it like with heavier paint. I am going to do sprints at 1 central. I'm going to quit this at the bottom of the hour, and see, what I've got on mine is a lot lighter. On that area, and I need to darken it. I'm using this bristle brush for myself. Doesn't lend itself to really thick for me anyway. Thick application is what I was trying to say. I'm going to switch back to that one. Oops. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm going to give myself time to clean my paintbrushes and go to the bathroom. Okay, that should be up there. Before I do my sprints on that one on my other channel. When I was young, my parents bought an old house and they redid it room by room. And they took out a lot of the original moldings, and for one thing, they were painted this very putrid green, and my mother hated it. I mean, they had it all over the house like that. And it was too much work to take all the molding and strip it. So they just eventually replaced it with the cheap, well, wasn't cheap then, but with the oh, that table goes over there. But anyway, they wound up losing all of the beautiful old woodwork, except on the staircase. They, I can remember my mother sitting there with a nut picker, picking out the paint on the banister to try to save it. And the really sad thing is, when they downsized, do that. The people that bought it used it as a rental home, and which is not a bad thing. It's just I've driven past it and they've just completely destroyed it. It's just, it's like the yard is a junkyard. And one of these days, if I ever win the lottery, I'd love to buy it back. When we sold it, they asked all of us, if it was the kids, if it was okay. If, did any of us want it, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, it didn't work for me to be down there. So I didn't take them up on it. And I regret it. There weren't a lot of it wasn't a sentimental thing, but it's just, I keep thinking, well, I guess that is sentimental. I keep thinking if my parents could see what the house looks like now, they would be so sad. Because they worked so hard on that house for years. I mean, tearing out walls and just, the typical old home purchase remodels. And now it's just there was a rental house in the back that when we moved in, it was an older woman that lived there, and I remember her rent was $35 a month. That's how long ago that was. It was just a little one bedroom. Like mother-in-law type home. Which would be perfect for me right now. Well, I guess I'd have to have someplace to put my husband now. It's just sad. I have 15 minutes left. See, I think I'm getting the light shift, but I'm not getting the values dark enough. Not in comparison. But, like I said, this is more of just like a quick study. To do to capture how they do the values and all. To capture the light the way they do. Because I really admire the look, the effect. During sprints, I'm going to be doing admin work. I have quite a bit of things I need to catch up on. Yeah, I know that's way too dark in one. But I'm gonna. I didn't get this the right angle. Ooh, that's too bright. I don't have this wide enough, which won't be hard to fix. It's just gonna have to move that. Having trouble reading this in here. Why is it so off? Ooh. Oh well, that actually works. Is that closer? Now I'll go back in and do that again. It doesn't look, mine does not look as painterly in real life as the original does. What time is it? Ooh, I only got like 5 minutes. But you know, I'm just gonna have to be okay with that. Like I said, I might work on this on my own. If I do, I'll post a finished picture of it when I get it done on YouTube, if anybody's interested. I may wind up painting over the whole thing with a thicker paint. And consider this the underpainting. Some of these shadows in here are interesting. And 27 after. This went fast. I'm glad I did it though. I'm glad I got up and scheduled something to do that was productive. It's not exactly as dark and as contrasty as the original. But as I've already said, I'm okay with that. time to start wrapping things up so I can have a break before activities on my other channel. This is a half French easel. I have a full one that's vintage that I got off of eBay, like, oh God, I don't even know, probably 20 years ago. And it says Grimbacher on it. I used it as a tabletop easel for a long time. And then because I had problems with the legs, and then I broke down and fixed it. It's probably not vintage kosher, but I can use it now if I want to out in the field, which I haven't. Okay, I am gonna have to call that. It's I've got 12:32. I'm gonna stop there, and as I said, I'll probably go back over this with much thicker paint now that I'm confident of where things are. The darks like this need to be, the shadows need to be darker. But I'm okay with that. This needs to be higher. Yeah, so does that. That needs to be higher. That's why I was having trouble reading it. I already closed my palette, or I would fix that. Because it should go all the way up to here. Right down here I can steal. It should go up to there. Anyway, I'm gonna go clean my brushes and prepare for my sprints and my admin work on my other channel. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, if I finish this, I'll post a picture of it on the community tab. This was not a master study. It was just a quick study for myself to acquaint myself with the light. And anyway, thank you for being here. I still have my Master Study Monday scheduled, which will be a master study. This particular painting is a detail of a larger painting by John Yardley. I want to say that again. So check him out online. He is an elderly gentleman now, but he is still alive. I want to give him full credit. And I will see you all either on the other channel at the top of the hour when I do my admin, or I will see you on my next live here. Hopefully it will be on Monday, if not before. All right. Thanks for being here.